our last panelist this evening is another example of how Nairobi Bariatric Center has moved another person from pounds to prevention, how they've achieved weight loss and now they're in a much healthier state. And she's one of our most valued patients. We'll have her because she has also been very compliant. And when you find someone who's compliant, then you know this works. And I followed how everything was supposed to be done because it's important. If the doctor tells you you need to take antibiotics, and the first questions Kenyans ask is, "Neza kunywa pombe?" If you don't follow the instructions, it won't work. So her name is Maureen Waititu. She's a digital content creator. And she's also one of our past patients who has had the gastric balloon. You've heard from George who had the sleeve. And now we get to hear from Maureen who had the balloon. So if you've been thinking about it, then you're about to get your real life testimony. So welcome, Maureen.
Thanks, Eva. And thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you. Docs. It's incredible to be in a room full of beautiful women and men. We see you. And the question, I guess, would be what women want. Even before I talk about my journey, through Nairobi Bariatric, who've become my lifelong friends. I kept thinking, what can I talk about? And I was talking to to one of my friends, and I was like, let me speak from my heart. Let me speak the truth of being a woman, and I mean being a girl, being a child, a little girl, a baby, a young lady, a young woman, a mother, and a mother of mothers. That's all the things we go through, and Doc here has told us, like, men don't get affected by some things, but for a woman to be, to be that up there, they go through around 7 stages of their lives. And my earliest memory on my body, like realizing my body, I was 15 years old, and I was in high school. Ideally, I've always been a very skinny girl, barely there. I was all legs and nothing. And so I grew up with a lot of, oh, you're so skinny, you're too tall, your lips are too big, didn't think much of it until I went home from Form 2. You're about 14, 15 years old. I went home, and during the December holidays, something happened to my body overnight. I got a proper growth spurt. Proper. I was in a public school, meaning that when you go to Form 1 or year 13, when you go to Form 1, you are given uniform. So for the 2 years, Form 1 and Form 2, you only get another uniform in Form 3 and Form 4. So here I am back in school in January. I'm in Form 3. And we're waiting for the uniform. But suddenly I had hips. I had, these ones I've never had, by the way, but I had these ones. And I was just minding my own business, and my skirt was a bit tight, obviously. The school uniform had not come. We were not allowed to wear anything else. And after that, it was lunch break, I'll never forget. And then after the lunch break, I got called to the staff room. And here I found this teacher. I don't remember her name, but I'll never forget how she looked like. Do I describe her? Of course, I'll be hating, but I'll never forget the memory she gave me about myself. And she said, you're just walking around seducing male teachers with your tight skirt. And I was like, what do you mean? I'm 15. How am I seducing grown men? Do you understand? As a woman, like, what is that? My first experience with my body came from another woman, and she put me down. Let me tell you, it got so bad, I got expelled. She tried to punish me, and I refused. I said, I went home, I grew. What do I do about it? And that was back in the days. You could never do that. So I was suspended and then expelled, because I refused to do the punishment. Of course, it took me into another trajectory. I had to move schools. And now I started this journey where I'm looking at my body and I could see all the wrong things with it. again, I was just talking about my appearance. To date, there are things that give me a lot of anxiety, and sometimes it's when being a public figure, when I post a photo, there has to be somebody who is just zooming and concentrating and saying, "You've added a bit of weight. The balloon didn't work." There's always these main things that they say, and they try to justify. And I'm like, how do you just sit down and go through social media and wait for a woman to just show up as herself? And I talked about the 7 stages that a woman will have to experience. They don't talk about the 4 weeks. 1 week you're good, you're wobbling like a marshmallow, you're happy. The next, something happens, ovulation. The next, doc, I'm sure you hear all kinds of things. We're never the same. We go through so many cycles, hormonal, everything. And of course, it doesn't help, with the lifestyles we lead, being mothers, we're supposed to show up everywhere. So it's like, where do you create a balance? But what I've come to realize is, like that photo, the before and after, and now there's an after. I kind of gained healthy weight. Also, I think, but yeah, that's a story for another day. But every time, you're out there. I've lost my train of thought, by the way. I wasn't ready, you guys. So bear with me. Oh yes, when I put the before and after, my goodness, this photo traveled. It had a better life than me for a minute there. I was getting messages from South Africa, South America, Dubai. Oh my goodness, And let me tell you, if you look at the comments, it's still there. Anybody who said something negative, they're all women. When I posted, and every time my post would even go, to the DMs, there's our Kenyan brothers, and they would say, don't lose too much. We like you with, a bit of of that. Others will be like, are you okay? Are you sick? And I'm like, I'm at my happiest because I have never been that heavy. I was heavy. I was 94 kgs. And don't let the heels fool you, and the legs. Yeah, myself and Dr. Christina, we have them legs. So we appear tall, but we really just tall for the camera. But, the whole balance is, and I think this is what I can really be vulnerable about today. Every day of my life, even when I was losing, there still be places I would look at. Like my backside, I really don't like it when it's protruding. I don't like, so I will hide it. I'll walk like this. I even when I know that there's an opportunity that it will be seen, but it looks nice. It doesn't mean, yeah, it looks really nice. You saw the photos are there, but I don't want to diagnose myself, but I know there's a bit of what we call body dysmorphia, where you look at yourself and you criticize yourself so bad. And I find myself doing that from morning to evening. Just stand there and you're like, then you scroll on Instagram, see Kim Kardashian. Then you see, all these women who are perfect, this perfection online. Then we forget to be kind to ourselves. So I think my message today would be, as a woman, whether you are a child, because I know maybe a child will be able to see this footage, whether you're a little girl, a young lady, a young mother, a mother of mothers, Mama Olive, I see you. She challenges me. This woman has energy for days and she looks amazing. I love how she parents also. And just be kind to yourself. It all starts with you. I may stand here and look courageous and all that, but I won't lie. I struggle so much with self-acceptance. As a matter of fact, the few places I've been told to step on the weight, like when I go to the hospital, I close my eyes and I tell them, please don't tell me, please, I beg you. I don't want to see a measuring tape near me. I don't want to see a scale near me. I even told my nanny to hide it somewhere. Of course, now that's when it comes to something that Nairobi Bariatric has been doing, and that is psychotherapy, to make you realize you're not alone. And I can tell you here, I don't think there's anyone who is 100% happy. Like maybe one or two, but the percentage is significant. Very few people are like, I'm okay, I'm perfect. There's always something you're looking at. But be kind. See what your body has done. Not you men, the women. See what your body has done. But on a serious note, I'm raising boys, so I'm also teaching them body positivity because, this is a good one. The other day, my 5-year-old came home and he said, Mommy, Abraham, not the Bible Abraham. This Abraham was very mean. He said, Abraham told me that I'm fat. And so I asked him, are you fat? He said, no, I'm strong. I was like, yes, that's my son. 5. And by the way, he's the skinniest little guy ever. He was once a round baby. Now he's like tall and skinny. Someone stretched him overnight. And that's it. Like, let's teach our kids to also have body positivity. Let them also know how to eat the right foods. Like now, I'm learning to negotiate, because when I had like really, there's a time I was deep in the gutters when it comes to eating foods. So I would buy all these bad snacks and I would store them in the pantry. I used to call myself a rat. Everyone would go to bed and then they just hear someone going, and then I just start pulling, bags of chips and everything. And then I eat them and then I sleep. Sometimes I'd black out eating them because I have struggled with mental health. So I've had medication to keep me going, got off it, but I've always been on a sleeping pill. So this sleeping pill, what it does is it gives you what you call munchies. Yeah, so it makes you want to eat. And Dr. Luda is very, very right. It's not stress, it's not hormones, it's not genes. Eating is what makes you add weight. And once you acknowledge what's going on, then you're able to control that. I've had my fights, and let me go back to the kids. Like I'm able to negotiate, and we say from Monday to Saturday, no sweet things, no unhealthy foods, because it's all about moderation as well, and creating that healthy relationship with food, of which a lot of us have struggled with. But now looking back, in as much as I may not be where I want to be weight-wise, I have learned a lot. And I'm learning also to be in the season of giving myself a pat on the back, because I think I've done great things in the past year. And one of them is, if you come to my pantry, it's full of healthy foods. There's only one little box with some snacks, and they have to be earned. So even like my oldest son had issues like with exchanging, like eating certain foods. He's on the spectrum, level 2 autistic. So they're very sensitive to foods. But thanks to Sonic, the hedgehog, his uncle was bringing him Sonic, and we had, come on, moms, please be kind to yourselves. Use whatever God has put in your head. So we told him, if you don't eat your vegetables and your meat, hedgehog, Sonic will never arrive. And now he eats his meat and his vegetables. So it's never a narrow and straight path. You will drop the ball and rise up. Like, the wonderful gentleman who's told us about his story. You've seen for yourselves. He said it was about adding and dropping. There's no a really clear path. But once you figure out what works for you, go for it. So all I can say is that this room is full of wonderful, wonderful people. I wish we could have been more, but I hope this gets to more people out there. Be kind to yourselves. Don't be your worst critic. Sit back. No. We're not Mr. Olympian and Miss World. Yeah, and of course, age. It's like I used to eat anything and everything when I was a stick. Now you smell fries like this. 1 kg. What is that? And of course, our lives have changed. We're very sedentary. We don't walk as much. We're not active. Then injuries. Yeah, have you been feeling it in your knees, guys? Yeah, you go down. You don't know if you're gonna come up. It's hard itself, and inflammation, of course. And then that's something I came to learn very recently about the foods we take and the effects they have on your body. So this is not all grim and, sad stories. But like Dr. Sola here said, there are so many things that will happen to your body because of the things you eat. And also, that excess growth of cells, which is cancer, it has to start somewhere. And, we are taking a lot of inflammatory foods. We are not stopping to really hydrate, take care of our stomachs. This is a whole engine in here. It's running. It's very hot and very acidic in there. So whatever you put in there, you have to really think about it. And yes, if you're above, especially 30, hey, it's bad. Things are bad. But yeah, that's me. Again, I like being vulnerable and authentic. This is all you'll get. This is Maureen. I am. If I meet, Dr. Luda somewhere, I'm just like, I'm a few kgs heavier. I'm literally like the face of Nairobi Bariatric, but I'll make you proud. I'll make you proud. I have my goals. If I fall, please pick me and all the others so that we can inspire with the platforms we have. I would want this. I would want to talk about my journey openly. These things happen. I lost a bunch of weight. I added some. It's life, right? It's life, right? Exactly. So let's have honest conversations. Let's have straightforward conversations. Yes, food is what makes you add weight or excess or bad eating habits. Again, food is what? We say 70-80% of your entire process of the body, whether you're gonna lose weight or not. That's why when you eat six burgers and work out for 2 hours, you cannot outrun a bad diet. So yes. So yeah, I think I'm done. Thank you.